What's going on, people, and welcome back to Total Oz Spurs. And before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button for all notifications of future content. And please, guys, like and share us around. We hit us the fucking 100 sub mark. We want to keep going. And let's get into it before we start, Brad. How are you, bro?
Good, brother. Good. How are you?
Good. Well, I think a lot of Tottenham fans are a bit more excited today. If you haven't heard, because I'm sure you already have, Tottenham could be signing James Maddison,
Let's go.
and it's not a could be, it's pretty much a definite. So, if you don't know, Tottenham have agreed £40 million plus add-ons for James Maddison. The personal agreement has already been made a couple of days ago, and he is actually having his medical as we speak, most likely. So, expect to have James Maddison revealed as a Tottenham Hotspur player. And Brad, we've been calling this for over a year. It's about time Tottenham listened to the fans and went for a real player.
It is. It is. Like, we've been screaming for Maddison pretty much started last year. As soon as we got Conte, I think we said Maddison. Like, buy him straight away. It's kind of shitty that it's taken this long. But he's ours now. We got him for, I think it's 5 or 6 year contract.
I think
it's
a
big one
5-year
too.
contract.
It's a long-term contract. That's it. We finally have that midfielder that we want, so we can keep Kane up front and banging goals. And next season, Haaland, who I'm telling you, Kane's coming top goal scorer.
Yeah, well,
I'm calling it. If Maddison's in the middle,
that's a big call. That is a big call. But I will say, you saying that it's taken a while, people don't understand. What he means is that it's taken a while for Tottenham to wake up and actually buy a player of this caliber. However, it's not even July 1st yet, and we've got two players in the door. And from what I'm hearing, Ange has had a personal conversation with James Maddison and Vicario before they both were signed. And apparently both were, well, I know Vicario was quite impressed with how Ange used his background of coming from the bottom, which really pushed Vicario to come to Spurs and convince him. And I'm sure he's done the same for Maddison, because Maddison comes from Coventry, if people don't know. Went to Leicester. Obviously, we all know how he's been at Leicester. He is going to be a great addition to our attack. We have needed this type of player since Eriksen. He has, apart from there's one or two players, apart from the normal guys like Son, Kane, all those top-notch players scoring goals season in, season out for the Premier League. I think there's only 7 players ahead of him from the last 3 years in terms of GA, so goals and assists. So this guy is going to bring a bag of goals, a bag of creativity. We have a free kick specialist, finally.
Yep,
Actually,
finally.
we have 2, because I think Porro is a good free kick taker too.
Yeah.
So we went from Dyer and Kane, who can't even hit a barn door, to Porro and Maddison. So, I mean, I'm excited. I think this is an intent signing. However, I want it to keep going. I don't think we need to get 2 centre-backs in. And I am hearing that Langley, who was linked back with Tottenham, we don't want to pay more than 4 or 5 mil for him. And Barcelona pretty much, we've kind of pulled out of that race. Would you take Langley back, Brad?
To get rid of Dyer, yeah. As it is, yeah. I can't see Dyer in our team.
Straight swap.
Straight swap, have Dyer, which Barcelona won't anyway, but I'd have Langley over Dyer. Langley made mistakes last year, but they weren't as bad as what Dyer cost us. Dyer cost us, I can say 5 games.
Easily.
Almost in a row. Like, it's ridiculous.
Diabolical, mate.
Yeah, look, I honestly think what's Barcelona's asking? I haven't really been looking at that. They're probably asking about 8 or 9, wouldn't they?
I think they're going for about 8.6 mil. I don't know if that's pounds or euros, but it's around that figure, and we've only really offered about 6. So,
well, I'd throw in Dyer on top. I have Dyer for 2 mil.
Nah, we can get like 20 mil for Dyer. I know people will laugh at that statement, but the English tax, if someone like Luton come in, we can give him. They could pay 20 mil and take him, and he'd be their starting centre back because he's better than what they have.
He'd be our top goal scorer against them.
Pretty much.
Because he help us score goals.
Oh,
but no,
fuck yeah.
I'd honestly take Langley. over
over
Dyer
Dyer.
straight up. Yeah, but if Dyer went, maybe that money could go to Langley, but we can do better centre backs anyway. We can.
I honestly think we should avoid him if we're going for the next two. So if you don't know, Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen looks like he is the next major target for Tottenham, and I'm excited as well. Me and Delane did a video. I've been on a couple of channels. Tapsoba is a great centre back, 24 years old, tall, fast, strong, intelligent. He's a centre back that's really going to make a statement next to Romero, and you know, that's the guy I want us to go for next. I think we've been tapping him up. I think it's about 40 mil, 40 to 50. Look, we get a starting centre back and a starting creative midfielder for 80 million. That's good. That's good business for me.
Oh,
so,
sure.
And then the second centre back that we're going for is a kind of a youth route. He is only a couple of years younger than Tapsoba. It is Mickey van der Ven. Liverpool have been linked with him from I think it's Werder Bremen. He's playing it, so he will be a bit cheaper, about 18 to 24 million. But he looks like a player, quality player, left-footed as well, so it suits that left side. That'll be probably our 3 rotational centre backs, maybe with Sanchez, because as I said before in previous videos, Ange does like quick centre backs, and Sanchez is the quickest out of all of them. So Sanchez, if he doesn't decide to leave or get sold, he may feature very rarely if we get these 2 centre backs. But for me,
Ange get the mistakes out of Sanchez though. That's the thing.
Well, I remember a time
last year.
I remember a time when before last season, Sanchez had 9 games in a row clean sheets.
Well,
Not saying he's a good centre back.
No, but that was when Romero was lucky. World Cup. That was World Cup.
But for me, I don't think Sanchez is it. I think, I'd rather Lenglet than Sanchez. However, I'm going to say it, and I keep saying it. If Ange wants him to stay, if Ange can see something, if Ange can see him working in this system, and he's the type of person that he knows he's on a knife's edge. He knows if I don't get this right, I'm fucked. So if people aren't getting it, like if people aren't doing what he needs them to do, he's going to get rid. And I think Sanchez is probably going to be one of them because he's not reliable as a centre back. He's not. But if we get both those 2 in, Tapsoba and Mickey van der Ven, I will be quite happy with how the transfer window has gone, even if we don't get any, because I feel like after those 2, if we get them, it needs to be a clear out.
Yeah, definitely. Dyer, as bad as it says, Davies,
Dyer, Tanganga, Sanchez.
The real question is, we've said this before, do you reckon Edge will try and bring back Carter Vickers?
Nah, I think that will be a late bid in the window if we can't get Mickey van der Ven. I think CCV will be the next in line because and he's Tottenham. He was at our club before. He knows our club. He would fit straight in. Knows some of the players.
But as I see it, I'm seeing right now, any player that we've been linked to after, like before Ange was our manager, we had links with Sancho and Maguire, but everyone he's been linked to since then, he's bought.
Well, that's the thing. I think this Vicario guy, like I was saying, we need to see if he's an Ange or he's a Levy buy. But I feel like that was an Ange buy. I feel like Ange had sent someone forward. Gabbiadini was the one that I think him and Ange worked together, and I'm hearing some good vibes coming in, and that leads to another Aussie joining the crew. Everyone knows this player because he played for Crystal Palace. He has played for Aston Villa. I actually quite liked him as a CDM. I actually wasn't opposed to the idea of buying him at Tottenham, and he has played under Ange for Australia, and it's Mile Jedinak or Miles Jedinak if you want to pronounce it in the English way. But he has joined as an assistant coach or assistant manager under Ange. And his mentality at Crystal Palace he was their captain, their leader. And I feel like that's what we need at this club. Some leaders in that dressing room, whether it's on the field or in the coaching staff. And I'm actually quite excited. I think this is going to be a young, a sort of, not young, but a sort of new kind of coaching outfit. But I feel like it's got all the right pieces, apart from one. And I think you know who it is.
Who?
Ryan Mason. this guy
Yeah.
is a bad smell. And look, I love Mason, Tottenham boy, through and through. Come back, took over the team, changed
We'll
up
go
the end
back
of
down
last
to youth.
season. Well, he's assistant manager, and I just hope this isn't him undermining Ange to try and get the top job, because that's what he wants. Because he doesn't have the credentials and doesn't have,
Nah.
to me, he doesn't have the minerals to be the manager
He
of
hasn't got
Tottenham.
the dressing room yet. That's the thing. He's a player. That's all he is. He hasn't got the mentality to change a team's dynamics at halftime to make him come out like Conte did sometime for
Well,
half.
towards the end, Conte lost the team, but I feel like
Yeah.
the way Ange's approached this and the way he's already like, and that's the thing, right? This is one thing that I really liked, right? Even if they're not Ange's transfers, like these first two, Maddison and Vicario, right? Ange still went, you know what? Instead of fucking being like Conte and going, they're not my players. I'm not gonna like Spence. What you did to
Yeah.
Spence, not my player.
Mm.
Fuck him. He can rot on the bench. Stuff you. He's gone. You know what? This is the player you want at this club. If this is the kind of caliber you play, or the kind of direction you want to go as a club, fine. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna show the bloke, mate. I'm backing you 100% to come into my team and do what you need to do. Like, you might not be my first pick, but I want you to prove me wrong. I guarantee you would have put that in their heads, and that's the thing. Spence comes back this summer. He ain't going to be on the back foot now. Porro's going to have to shape up, or Spence will. I think Spence is going to have a breakout season at right back this year. He'll get plenty of game time because Porro can push further up the pitch to cover Kulu, and I think Spence is going to battle Royal for that right back role.
Yeah. Well, just going back on that Ange thing first before. I think it was an end purchase for Vicario because Ange actually rang him and his dad before he signed and had a personal chat with him and said, if you come to Tottenham, you'll get the development that you want. Because even the old Italian from the Italy goalkeeper has said,
Buffon.
yeah,
Come on,
Buffon has
everybody
said,
knows Buffon.
yeah, bro, it just didn't come to my head. Buffon has said, this kid is the next goalkeeper for Italy. He goes, this kid is something. He just needs to get in a league where he can show what he's doing properly. And I think having him under Foster will be, you know what I mean? We'll play FA Cup, Carabao Cup.
No,
We'll
I
just
think
play.
Vicario's going to start. I think
I don't think
Lloris
he'll
is.
start. Well, Lloris is going anyway.
Yeah, Lloris is. Apparently, there wasn't even Lloris's jersey in the dressing room when they showed the Vicario video. So, I think it's going to be Forster, maybe Forster starting the first couple of games, and then Vicario once Vicario settles. But depends how he goes. If he has a blinder in his pre-seasons, I know it's pre-season, but this day and age, pre-seasons are pretty much advertisement for the club. We're playing West Ham, first game of the pre-season in Perth.
Yep.
But yeah, you make a good point. Forster's been in around the league for ages. He's been at Celtic, so he knows the background of the Celtic club, so he can, mix with Ange on that. So he probably will start. But you're right. I think Vicario was Ange's buy, but if it isn't, he's done the right thing to kind of bring that player under his wing. Gone, you know what? You may have not been my player. You may have been a club purchase, but I'm going to treat you like you're my player. You're the player that I wanted. And that's what I love to see. And I wish Conte did that, because I feel like Conte could have got more out of the squad that he had if he had just, tried to not. But then again, Conte's won everything. So that's the way he does it. I'm not going to mock it. You can't. I think the club let Conte down. And on the final part, we actually might have a departure, our first departure from the first team, first 25. Harry Winks. I think this is a deal that we cut with Leicester to make sure we get Maddison. So I think we gave him a cut price. We said to them, we'll give you Winks cheaper if you give us Maddison cheaper. So it looks like it's going to be £8 million plus £4 million add-on if they get promoted back into the Premier League. And I mean, Winks for 8 mil, I would have taken the 12 reduction of 4 mil, but we might get the 4 mil back if they come up. I think Leicester might have the squad to come back up. They have decent players there. Do you think that's a good deal?
Yeah, look, I can't see Winks coming back into our team anymore. Like not with Maddison, Basuma, Bentancur, Skip,
That's saucy.
Sarr.
That sounds so saucy, that midfield three. Especially the way Ange plays.
Apparently in Ndombele's, if he likes what Ndombele does in the preseason, Ndombele stays. Lo Celso. If it doesn't sell Lo Celso, we've got too much in the middle to deal with. And Winks, I can't see Winks coming up and being a game changer anymore.
I don't think so.
It got us cheaper for Maddison. So see you, mate.
I
Sorry,
think it's a win-win
through and through, but
like
we need trophies. We need to win. We can't be just showing loyalty to players who are average.
no,
Unless
you're 100% correct, Brad. And I just want you to think of this, right? Arsenal are going to probably spend around 100, 115 mil for Declan Rice. If we get Tapsoba, even for 50 mil, we'd spend the same amount, and we got Vicario, Maddison, and Tapsoba, and that fills 3 of our holes that we had last season.
And maybe
Van de Ven an extra 20, 25 mil on top, maybe 30. 150 mil, we've got 4 quality players, and that's the thing for me. We have to buy quality. Quantity sometimes doesn't work. We got 7 players in last season. There's only 1 player that played decent, and that was Forster.
Yeah.
And he was free. Spence didn't get a game. Perisic was Perisic.
He's old.
Basuma had an off season, and he's the one to watch this season, because I think we're going back into the formation that he used to play at Brighton with a flat 3 in the middle. Him, Bentancur, and Maddison are going to run rings around midfields if we get the Basuma of Brighton. But the thing is, I'm worried about.
Jitters last year. He can always be different this year.
Well, I think also the system. It wasn't the system for him, and Conte tried to force. It's like putting square pegs in round holes. He tried to force him into this role that wasn't him, and the same with even like Højbjerg. Like, you look at our depth now in midfield with Bentancur, Højbjerg, Skip, Basuma, Maddison, and you know what? I'm going to say it. People are going to probably chastise me for it, but keeping one of Lo Celso and Ndombele is probably a smart move. We're not going to make the money back on Ndombele. We're not going to make the money back on Lo Celso. No. The difference is we need someone that's creative, and we don't. And the only person that we have, once Maddison signs, is Maddison. So if Maddison gets injured, we're back to square one like we were this season, or last season, I should say now. So I think keeping one of those, and Ndombele's got more talent in terms of creativity. However, he's a lazy fuck. If Ange can get him out of that,
Ange will get it out of him. I reckon he will.
I hope so, because the guy's won a Scudetto and still hasn't worked his ass off. So
no,
if he can get the
Ndombele coming back, I'd fuck off Lo Celso. Winks. Like, the question is Hill. Where does he fit in? Does he stay or does he go?
Well, it depends on what we do after we get. So we're going for 2 centre backs. So after that, my priority would probably be Harvey Barnes, because we need a backup for Son on that left side. If not, you play Hill there. No, but that's what I'm saying. For me, I would rather play Barnes on that side, because that's where he plays. If we can buy him for 30 mil, I personally, if we're going to get Barnes, I'd say to Leicester, all right, swap deal. We give you 10 mil and Hill and give us Barnes. That would work for me. Yeah. I'd take that deal. However, if Ange thinks Hill's got what it takes, and the thing is, he has got the technique. He's won the Europa League with Sevilla. He assisted Lamela to get them into the final. So he does turn up. It's just, I think we've never utilised him the way that we should. Nah. And Son's always been in his position. So I'm hoping Ange rotates him, but we'll see.
I'd like to see him stay, but then if it doesn't work out, we've also got Kane, Richie out the middle, Son, and if we get Son and Barnes at the left back up, then we'll get Hill and Cooley for the right, and then we've got Maddison and Ndombele for the middle. That's still not a bad second team up front.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean, like, we've got quick, we've got skill, and we've got people that can score.
The last problem that we have, though, is that Harry Kane, apparently, rumoured, I don't know how true it is because no one's come out and said it, Harry Kane has apparently agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, and they're looking to offer about 75 million euros with add-ons, but apparently the club's not taking anything less than 100 mil. I've heard different rumours. Harry Redknapp's come out and said that Harry Kane isn't staying, that he's building a brand new house in London for his family, and he's not going to uproot his family if he's building a new house. I'm hearing that Kane's ready to go. What's your take? Do you think we will have Harry Kane this season? And do you think if he does stay, will he re-sign, or will he just run his contract out and then move on?
No, look, I think Kane will be impressed by our purchases already. I think that's one of the big things that he was pushing for the last couple of seasons was make quality purchases on players. Show us that you've got like you're in it to move forward with the club. You're not just sitting back and let's just buy this, buy that, dribs and drabs, buy players that are fucking 18, 19, and then you loan them out to do nothing. We've got Maddison, we've got Vicario, Tapsoba. I think Kane will probably stay, and I think he might sign a contract out, but I don't think he'll sign yet. I think he'll wait, see how he goes in pre-season, and then he'll sign midway through the first half of the season. I think that's what will determine. I think Andrew will say, mate, give me 6 months with this team, and if you don't like what I'm doing in the club, then say help it, go out and try and make some money and try to go win yourself a trophy. But I think him and Ange, I think he's liking what Ange is doing. Levy's finally going into his pocket, like Kane asked him all the time to do, and I think he'll stay. I
look,
coming this year.
I think he'll stay, and I think this season is the season for Tottenham to go for it. So I have a prediction: if we're top 3 by Christmas, and we're still in every single competition, and we're looking good, we're playing well. We're not smacking teams, but we're dominant. We're attacking. Kane scoring goals left, right, and center. He might turn around and go, you know what, Ange, you've turned it around. I'm gonna sign. I think we can win something. And I have a feeling if we keep going the way we're going, I'm not getting too gassed because we have made 2 decent signings. Well, one very good signing, Maddison. Vicario, we don't know yet. Tapsoba will be a good
purchase.
Yep, Tapsoba will be a long-term good purchase. Tapsoba's already proved himself. I personally, for me, from what I've seen, this Van der Ven's a good future prospect.
Yeah.
With that team, if we can add in a couple of, get rid of some of it, Dyer, Sanchez, those kind of guys, and then we can really focus on Ange's the first 6 months, just getting Ange's system in. Yeah. If we're looking good, I think you're right. I think Kane stays. I think he finishes his career at Tottenham if the team shows it. I think
this in the house, bro, he ain't going nowhere.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know how true that rumor is from Harry Redknapp, but he said it on record. However, it's totally up to the club, really. I know no one wants him to go. Ange doesn't, Levy doesn't, the players don't. We would have been probably 15th last season if we didn't have Harry Kane.
Yeah.
He's Tottenham through and through, and for me, everyone says, "Oh, if he stays, he's a loser." Yeah, maybe. But there's players that, if there's one player like Totti was at Roma all his career
from West Ham.
Yeah, like
West Ham, yeah.
To West Ham supporters, he's a god, Noble.
Yeah,
he didn't win anything, didn't have any England caps, didn't do anything for his club, didn't but that's the thing. I think. Yeah, he turned up every week and had his heart on his sleeve for the club, and I just think we need to really show Kane this season. I think Levy's actually starting to. I'm not going to jump the gun because knowing Levy, we won't sign anybody else. Tapsoba deal will go out the window. Mickey van der Ven will go to fucking Liverpool, and we'll end up getting Langley back, and then we'll go and get someone from like Serie B as a backup winger or something. So I'm not getting too gassed. However, very positive for this before July the 1st. Ange starts on the 3rd, and I think he'll like what he's walking into, and I think the club. The way the fans, like, we've kind of flipped straight away because we got this Maddison deal. But the thing is, we need to be also quite steady because we know what Levy is like. So let's just see how we go towards the end of the window. And then I want to hear our predictions on the 1st of September, where we think we're going to be once we see what squad we have.
We do a thing, right? We get all our subscribers involved too. Before the first game, watch along. In the preview before the game, like half an hour before the game, everyone puts it out there what we're going to finish end of the season, what cups we're going to fight for, and we'll do it before the first game starts. We'll do it game day after the first team's picked. We'll put it out there, put it in the universe, and see what we can do. I reckon that's what we should do.
That sounds good, guys. Look, Brad's caught it. We're going to do a first game of the season. We're going to do a prediction. We might be 1,000-1 like Leicester, but Leicester won it with 1,000-1 odds, so you never know. But on that note, guys, we are going to take off. Thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit those comments below. Let us know how you're feeling about Maddison, the rumors on Kane, how you feeling about our future prospects in centre back and Winks going away. And guys, appreciate all your views. Make sure you smash that share button. Let everybody see our channel because we appreciate you guys for watching. I'm sure you're watching because you enjoy us. So make sure other people can enjoy us. And before we go, Brad, thank you very much for jumping on.
That's all right, brother. And everyone smash the comments. We'll get back to you. Let's get it to it. And let's have a good rest of the transfer window.
He said it, guys. And there's only one more thing to do. And that's stay Spursy, guys.
Stay Spursy, guys.